This is Chris Whalen, CPA, and welcome to the Street Level Business Podcast. If you look at your screen, you'll see my website and phone number, both great ways to reach me. Today's topic is a timely one, especially with the coronavirus lockdown in place. The topic is, should I reopen my business with occupancy restrictions still in place? If you find this informative and helpful to your business, please take a moment and share this with your networks and contacts. This podcast relates to businesses where patrons are seated and spend time. This is not for takeout-only establishments. I have never been asked a question more in my career than this one. Should I reopen my business with occupancy restrictions still in place? So, should you reopen your business with occupancy restrictions still in place? Are you a restaurant, a salon, a theater? Are you retail? Are you an office? Are you a catering hall? My answer is no, unless you are 100% sure you'll be able to break even under those circumstances. Until we have a definitive date when full occupancy will be allowed, opening with open-ended occupancy restrictions is not advised. Again, unless you're sure you can break even under those circumstances. All business owners deserve a definitive date when full occupancy will be allowed from the government, or it is impossible to know when to open. Most business owners are not contemplating how long limited occupancy rules could last. They're just excited to reopen. But what if it lasts a year or more? This fully open date is the most important thing we need to know. Here's a hypothetical scenario. Let's say it's announced that on June 15th, restaurants, hair salons, and other retail can open with only limited occupancy. How long can you sustain that? Without a full occupancy allowed date, you may not have any idea. Even if the full occupancy was allowed now, there may be a long period for patrons to be comfortable returning, so even then, you will not be operating at the prior sales capacity. And let's say you are allowed only 25% capacity, you may not even reach that. Many business owners are close to bankruptcy already, so they cannot be expected to throw good money after bad. We deserve a definitive date now for full operations, or we should not adhere to any government schedule. Hey, but Chris, didn't the government give us stimulus money and loans and grants? Yes, they did. Some or all of that needs to be paid back. Unless we reopen soon, loans like the PPP will not be forgiven. Some of these loans may need to be paid back starting in the limited occupancy period. Then what will you do? You will be even worse off. If you do take any loans, only spend loan proceeds when you are sure it will finance profits from day one. Do not use loan money to finance losses. Have you worked out a break-even analysis for reopening under limited occupancy? As of now, we are not sure what that occupancy percentage will be. So I suggest preparing several. Then you can make an educated decision. Here's some other considerations. Here's some legal considerations. Talk to your attorney about potential liabilities you may be exposed to upon reopening. Can I be sued if someone gets sick? Good question. Example, do I need to have clients sign a release before entering? Other considerations. Can you enforce social distancing for customers waiting outside to be seated or for takeout orders? What do you do in bad weather? Those few legal and logistical issues are a fraction of what business owners will face. This leads to my opening advice. Do not reopen unless you are 100% positive you can break even. Our elected officials must be forced to give us a definitive date where we can fully open. It is ludicrous and goes against my 3 decades of business experience to tell any business owner to open without a definitive, full occupancy allowed date. Contact your governors now. This has been Chris Whalen, CPA, with another edition of the Street Level Business Podcast. Again, if you have questions or concerns, you will see my website and phone number on the screen, both great ways to reach me. Thanks and have a great day.